Hey y'all, this is Moni.
And this is Kat.
Hey Kat. And this is the Fake Ass Book Club. Wait, can we both say it or no?
Welcome back, you guys. It's your girl, Moni.
And this is Kat.
Hey, Kat.
Hey, Moni. You look terrific. Can I say that? Like, you look above the average.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't feel like that, so I appreciate it. I got the scully on, as you do. We didn't plan this, you guys.
Nope.
We both. It's cold.
We're just always on vibes. It's cold. I want it to be comfortable. And period.
Period. That's it. That's it. Period. Point blank. Okay. So this is us, guys. Welcome back for another fun episode. And I was thinking, because we just came off of our live on Instagram, and
I need to put that on my story.
Yeah, put it on your story, friend. But I just was like, you know what? We definitely need a little bit of levity, a little bit of art and fun and laughter this week, because I don't know about you, but it feels like every 2 seconds I'm hearing something absolutely terrible. It almost feels like it's the rapid fire in which these executive orders that seem to be sort of like, is this real life right now? You know what I mean?
It's kind of like if we had been, it feels like a prank in a way. Like, it should be over soon, but it's not.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see the Nazis are back? We get to fight the Nazis again.
I thought they
Remember
were
when
done.
Yeah. I think I made the comparison earlier. It's like the Order of the Phoenix, when the Death Eaters come back, and everyone's been like, oh, we defeated the Death Eaters. You don't have to worry about the Death Eaters.
And people are pissed when you bring it up. And
Yeah,
you're
they're
like,
how
no.
dare you bring that up? That was such a difficult time. It's like,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying there's still some Death Eaters out there, and they're just waiting for their leader to come back, even though everybody thought he was out. Oh, wait, he's back. And he's like putting up signs in the sky and everything, and everybody's like, oh, but I was just coming for the goblet of fire. It's like, nah.
It got real quick.
Real quick.
But also, too, not to like, I mean, were you surprised?
The Nazi salute, yes. That was
The salute was crazy.
I wasn't anticipating that. I was anticipating the DEI rollbacks, the defunding of Black institutions,
Yes.
the deportation scares, which are driving up the food prices. Thank you very much, because people are scared to show up for work. And that means stuff doesn't get processed and things go to waste. And then there's scarcities. And if anybody... I know they try to do supply side economics, but economics works on demand. Demand, as any real economist would tell you. No matter what, they try to plug up the algorithm so you feel smart. They just feel so smart. It's like, oh, I'm smart. I'm not falling for these like libtard cucks. It's like the earth isn't round. And economy doesn't work on demand, and Black people are automatically unqualified. That's why they get jobs, just because of DEI. They didn't earn it. It's like, okay.
It's just, it's like the most unfunny joke ever, though. And I feel sorry for the people coming behind us, because I feel like, I guess it's the new generation's turn. I was saying this to my niece. I guess it's y'all turn to march and stuff. I mean, we'll support y'all. We'll be out there.
I had Planned Parenthood. I don't know what to tell y'all.
This is crazy. This is crazy. So I feel like with all of that going on and Nazis being back and, and honestly, the out loudness of it all, like there's no shame in it either. And it's like, don't be embarrassed of your
and that's
ancestors.
The plot, to normalize this rhetoric. So people are always like, well, it's
making excuses for it, where it's like we should have zero tolerance for any of this shenanigans. We know where this leads. If you've read a book at any point in time in your life, especially any history books about the Holocaust, or honestly any oppressed group anywhere,
they always run the same plays. They're not creative.
They're not creative, and this is the same thing. So you hate to see it. Here we are, though, friends, and the whole reason why we're reviewing what we are reviewing this week is so that we can get a little bit of reprieve from the hellscape that is our lives right now. So you guys, we're going to be reviewing Single Ladies by Ali Wong. This is a Netflix comedy special, and I'm especially excited to have this little bit of laughter and fun. So really quickly, guys, released October the 8th, 2024, Ali Wong's Golden Globe award-winning Netflix comedy special, Single Ladies, hilariously chronicles her post-divorce adventures as she is a newly single woman navigating her freedom, Flings and Self-Discovery. Wong reflects on relationships, independence, and the unexpected highs and lows of dating again. So I thought this would be fun, man. Like, I like her energy. She's so cute and pretty, and she seems smart. And she, like some of her energy, I feel like I embody personally in terms of just like the pushback of just, I don't know, like traditional, like
She's
being able
a little
to,
spicy.
She's a little spicy, and I feel like I got a little bit of that spice.
You're a little spicy. You're not a shrinking violet.
No,
That's
no.
not as how I would describe Moni.
No.
Yeah, she's
So-
more like those, like, what are those Venus flytraps, where they're like pretty
Ew.
and they're still
They eat bugs,
until
though. No.
something gross comes along and then they kill it.
Okay, I'll accept it. They eat bugs, but okay, I get the point.
You don't eat
I'm
bugs.
taking it. I don't
You
eat
don't
bugs,
like flying
guys.
bugs.
I don't like
But
bugs.
like that, neither does the Venus flytrap because it
Apparently
kills
not,
them.
But she eats them though. Okay, I'm not gonna get stuck
It doesn't
on
have
that.
to be a direct parallel.
It doesn't, but I get what you're saying,
But
friend.
yeah,
I
I
receive
like her
it
too.
I receive
You know,
it.
especially when she showed up on Big Mouth. That was
You
one
know, I
of my
don't watch it, but
yeah.
but I've heard great things about it.
Yeah, she's super duper.
So guys, hands over your hearts then. We're going to dedicate this episode. So as always, guys, we want to take this time out to first and foremost thank all of our patrons. You guys are the best. Okay, we appreciate you, your continued support. If you guys aren't patrons, pull up at our Patreon, and we have bonus. I think we drop 2 episodes every month. So if you're a patron, I think it's $5. You get 2 bonus episodes, and then 2, if you ever have any like episode sort of things that you guys want us to explore, we're happy to take your suggestions. So always a good time over there on Patreon. Also, I wanted to just dedicate this to all the funny women, all of the writers, performers. I feel like sometimes we don't always give them credit because I was like, oh, you're funny for a girl type shit. So this just kind of reiterated that fact. And then also to all the moms, single moms, all the women out there taking care of their family, doing that thankless work. And shout out to the dads who are actually there doing the same thing. So just people taking care of their shit. Shout out to you guys. What about you, friends?
Yes, and that's how I always judge people. It's like, if you're taking care of your business and taking care of your family, I can't really talk about you. You know what I mean? Even if there's things you're doing that are irritating me, if you're doing that stuff, yeah, yes, and.
Thank you.
My dedication this week is going out to Donald Tamaki, who is a lawyer who won reparations for Japanese American and wants to do the same for Black Americans. For people who don't know, because it isn't taught very well, during World War II, the United States government put Japanese Americans in internment camps, violating all kinds of civil rights.
Not the good kind of camps.
Not the harder brunch adult camp. This was
Thumbs down camp.
think more Holocausty, concentration campy kind of vibes, where they're stealing your labor and your land. So yeah, after that was over, Japanese Americans got reparations from the federal government for that bullshit. And everyone's always like, oh, we could never get reparations for slavery. That's just too crazy. Like, what? No, you got to stop saying that kind of stuff, because yes, there is a path forward. For one, if people who consider themselves white would like us to shut up about slavery, that'd be a great way to do it. If you're sick of hearing about Black history and all this blah, 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 Black stuff, kick over a couple of coins for the hassle. Like, that's just how, things kind of work or whatever. But yeah, that's going out to a good Donald T.
Yay.
Yeah, there's still some good ones out here.
All right, so
Dedication over.
dedication over. Wow. Excellent. Yeah, I did see that on social media. What a guy. I appreciate your efforts, sir. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's
good
kind
luck
of
with
like
that.
an Asian episode. I like Asians. I
Oh.
hear a lot of anti-Asian rhetoric a lot of times from people.
I guess this is an Asian episode. I like Asians. Okay. All right. Me too.
I mean, a huge part of our culture, or not of our global culture.
Yeah.
And I feel like they get marginalized because we have to make room for every single different type of European culture. And so Asian culture just gets lumped into this big group when there's way more of them.
Bunch,
It's a lot older and there's so much more diversity within it. So, yeah, I remember being very frustrated in art school just about how little we learned about Asian art because it was my favorite.
I know. And I feel like you've echoed that sentiment over the years during this podcast that it's like one of your favorite sort of genres of art. I mean, of course, we're not lumping it all into one, but just that region of the world creates so much beauty and art that it's like we don't even have access to. So I do think it's fun to highlight that, if you don't get a chance to. So I think I picked this though because I was like, I feel like I saw something and I saw her and I was hearing a little bit about the subject matter. So like this is talking about her. It's been 2 years. I guess she's filed for divorce, Ali Wong, in 2022, and it just got finalized in 2024. And we're close to the same age. She's a little bit younger than us by a couple of years, but also too just, I don't know. Like I like how stand-up comedians can take parts of their lives that may or may not be serious and use it to kind of like work through, right? So she's taking her divorce in this particular special and she's breaking it down. So I was really interested to hear how she was going to make that funny because it seems like divorce is hard and not funny when you're doing it.
It's not.
I don't know about you, friend. What do you think?
I mean, I've done divorce twice because obviously I'm a fan.
So how was it?
Like the first one wasn't that bad because we were married for such a short amount of time and neither one of us had any assets. So it was sort of a very, divorce light.
Oh.
But never great. Like I said, our society does not really have a pathway for breaking up peacefully. Like for people who do that, they have to kind of create their own roadmap for that because a lot of what we've been shown has just been a lot of toxicity. Like, one of the most famous scenes in cinema is Angela Bassett like setting her husband's closet on or like clothes on fire and waiting to exhale.
Iconic.
It's fun to watch, but in real life, that kind of stuff isn't really how
Doesn't help.
And it definitely doesn't help your kids. So, when you're navigating this kind of stuff, I think it's important to talk about it because that, alleviates sort of like the stigma around it where it's just kind of like, oh, you're divorced? What's your problem? And it's like, I just got out of a bad situation. I feel like disgraced comedian Louis C.K., he said it best, divorce is always good news. Because that means two people who are unhappy are now out of a situation that was making them unhappy. There's never been a situation where two people were deeply in love and were made to get divorced.
Maybe it's some sort of movie or something.
Except for in Scientology. Like, what's her name? Lisa Marie Presley. She divorced her husband to marry Michael Jackson, even though she was very happy in that marriage. And after she divorced Michael, she went back to her first husband.
Well, it just makes me think about the stigma around divorce in general because she does start the special off by saying that like she felt deep shame and embarrassment because I mean, I actually went back and watched some of her other specials and I mean it's like just chronicling like her life, like when she was single and like finally snagged him. They dated for 4 years. She was like, I finally caught this dude. He was like a Harvard grad, business grad. I'm trying to like
Japanese, which is the white people of Asians.
And she was just very excited about that. And then how like, as you get into the marriage and you get the house and you're pregnant and then moving into motherhood and how your idea of like what you thought these things that you were going to be one way, it's like another way. So I thought it was really interesting to go back and listen to the evolution.
That is interesting. I think I might do that too.
It was really like, oh, okay, now I feel like I got the whole, the whole story. Not the whole story, but a more inclusive story. Yeah, more complete story. So, finding her in this special, Single Ladies, at a point where she's like, okay, I'm out of this marriage. It's been happening for 2 years. And, where does that lead me? So, she's kind of starts it off talking about, what was the first thing? Just the dating thing. She was like, what cracked me up was just, she was like, now I didn't realize how publicized it was going to be and how, like
people gonna come out the woodwork
like a bat signal, and that just cracked me up. That she was like, "This is crazy," because I just never got this much attention, because I guess, now she's at a certain level of fame where everybody knows who she is, or lots of people do. And so I thought, wow, that would be crazy.
Yeah, where people were kind of like, oh, ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. So imagine even like on a small scale, like how having a little notoriety can bring a little bit of attention, but like it being like that. So, but what was also interesting too, because she referred to herself as a kind 6. And I'm like, I don't know, Allie, you're awfully beautiful to be saying that.
Maybe
but I think
in LA.
Maybe in LA, and also too, I think sometimes you tend to think about yourself how you were.
Yeah, because she described herself as a charismatic A-cup.
Yeah.
In high school, I was like deeply relatable.
Yeah.
No one's checking for that.
No one's checking for that. She's like, how things have changed. And so I think that like you always sort of internalize how you saw yourself, maybe during those vulnerable years if you weren't like popping. And maybe it's hard. It's kind of like losing a bunch of weight and you always feel like you're still heavy.
Yeah,
maybe.
You're always
like you're beautiful. What are you talking about? I don't want to hear this. But did you see her legs?
No.
You didn't see it in the special. You need to go back and watch. She has a great figure.
Of course
she's
does.
Like this little muscular, beautiful. Thank you. You saw the arms.
Like, okay.
So a kind 6, I feel like you're playing in my face.
But you do have
cute.
to, the sphere she's in though, she's in a celebrity sphere where in a world where you might literally be in a photograph with Naomi Campbell, like you might feel like 6.
Okay.
You know what I mean? A kind, but here's the important part.
So cute.
Because no
Kind.
matter what your number is, it's going down after time. Like that's the whole thing. Like that's the whole point of having to find somebody who's really into you for you. Because no matter how much you like whatever's going on right now,
it's melting.
gravity is gonna take it away. Gravity's undefeated.
Yeah.
So,
W.
just something to keep in mind. And it did remind me a little bit of Beef. You told me you didn't watch it all the way through.
I fell asleep.
I was mesmerized by Beef because it was so petty.
So petty.
I was just like, oh no. I think I stayed up late watching that. And I was like, man, because at the beginning you see, because I feel like it was lightly autobiographical, because she's talking about this person who's on the verge of this huge financial success, but she's also in this failing marriage. She also feels like, I'm trying to be a good mom, but it's, like all of this stuff where you feel like, it's like, okay, I'm supposed, like on paper I've got everything, but I still have to jack off with a gun and play Russian roulette to get myself off. Like,
damn.
I mean, like
shit.
Yeah, so it was kind of like, whoa. And she was also, because she mentions being married to this Japanese dude, and I was like, oh, that's what was going on in Beef.
Half Japanese, half something in real life.
Yeah.
I forget what the other one was.
And nice little hybrid. He had that hybrid vigor, hotness, but then of course he was sleeping with, her assistant and stuff like that. And then she ends up linking up with a younger dude. Like in Beef. She talks about in the special too about this dumb, where she was like, yeah, I kind of want to go to the museum. He's like, I'm down to see some dinosaurs.
It's like, we're not going to the children's museum, sir.
And once again, also a little relatable myself, having tried to date younger dudes.
Ooh, tell us about that.
No.
I tried. Listen, I tried.
No.
Okay. She's not gonna share.
You know what helped me kind of like maybe get a little maybe clarity on why it seems like I kind of end up dating younger dudes is because the men my age are all undiagnosed.
Like high blood pressure and stuff?
No.
Oh.
Like the ADD of it all. Like a lot of, because Mandy brought this up on Horrible Decisions, where she was like, because it's the same thing for her, even though she's in her 30s, she's like, I feel like I'm dating dudes in my 20s because the dudes my age are all a bunch of undiagnosed dudes. Like, she said, she used a different word. Huh. But I was like,
not undiagnosed. I wasn't expecting you to say that.
Yeah, for their mental conditions.
Oh.
And it's, and it shows. A lot of times, like, there are a lot of deep-seated misogyny and things like that young men seem to be more willing to let go than
some older ones.
older generations and stuff like that. But at the same time, like she said, you don't know who Kato Kalin is. You've never had Crystal Pepsi. What are we going to talk about?
Yeah.
And
there's that relatability factor of
because
yeah,
at the end of the day, I am an auntie.
Yeah.
And I'm not having any of your big-headed children.
Period. But I love that, what was it, the divorced mom energy? Yeah. She
needs a divorced dad. Like, I need to date a divorced dad.
Because you understand.
Yeah. Somebody who has that, someone who's pre-yelled at. I don't have to, like I said, with what they always say, if you can't find a good man, raise one. I'm not trying to do that either.
That made my smile go away.
Sorry. That's an old saying, though, where they're like, you can't.
But I also feel like that's the ethos with men who date younger women as well. Like, if you want a woman that's well behaved, and train her while she's young before she gets any thoughts of her own. So, like, I do feel like that can be a little problematic. But if that's what you want, because I think
no, I don't want.
That's what I'm saying. I'm cool, man. Like, I'm cool off that. But also, the divorced mom energy got me because she was like, that is a very specific space and energy of like, I don't want a commitment. I don't, like you mentioned, want to have your big head ass kids. Okay. She was like, I want to get dicked down. This is what I'm looking for. This is what we're here for.
I really related when she was like, he said something. And she was like, okay, I'm going to fuck you 6 more times.
And then we're done. Because I can't. This is not going anywhere.
There were some very deep, like, soul chuckles.
I
was just like, because she's very off the wall.
She goes in, guys.
Yeah, she's been keeping it very, very real, which is, it was refreshing.
I noticed that. I mean, that was across the board for all of her specials. Like, she did not, I was like, man, she's just saying it for real, though. And it's like, we're laughing, but it's like, there's some truth lingering in the air. I know y'all laughing, but this is real life. So I liked also that she mentioned that she felt like when she was dating, she was like, 3 weeks is like the perfect amount of time for her because it's like you're still super interested in stuff like that, but after that, you find that, well, she found that men want you as like an emotional support mom. Like, you're calling me with your problems. She was like, I ain't married no more. I don't give a damn. I don't know why that just cracked me up so hard. Cause it's like, yeah, like
this is supposed to be
not
fun.
That. Yeah.
And I can't, like, I'm still
I just left the marriage where I had to care.
You're gonna have to do that.
I don't care. Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not trying to lift the couch up the stairs or like, yeah.
But also, too, I think it's interesting because you just don't hear women talking like that. And I don't know that. I think that, like, if you're listening to this special as a guy who maybe, I don't know, like, I think some men don't like this kind of humor from women.
I would say a lot of men.
Yeah, I can't, I don't know. I'd have to take a poll or whatever, but I'm guessing that only because she talks about men how men talk about women.
Yeah.
And I think she fucking means it. And it's like, she's not, you know what I mean? It's like, this is how I actually feel, though. I don't think that it's like she's playing this caricature. I think that it's not 100% of who she is as a person, but I think that space exists. So, I mean, I think it's refreshing to hear women be candid about their sexual experiences and take it to the edge.
Yeah, she did a really great comparison too about dating and having sex with men of a certain age. Because you talk about dating someone a little older and stuff like that, which is also an option. I feel like because for whatever reason, like men my age don't seem to be an option. I have the option of going younger or older. But back to Allie. Really liked her take on a lot of stuff, even though it was kind of like, ooh, that's mad real.
She was hilarious, man. Just it's like her facial expressions, the way she moves, the little voices and stuff, like her physical comedy and stuff like that. What I will say, though, this particular comedy special compared to her older ones too, like I laughed out loud a little bit more with some of her older ones than I did with this one. But I don't know if it's because I'm not divorced.
I think the timing's a little different.
Maybe.
She talks really slow.
She does.
So the jokes don't hit per minute the way other more fast-paced comedians might.
Maybe.
So there's a little more space. She gives every joke a lot of breathing room.
I liked it.
There was, like you said, when she was talking about dating the older gentleman. That gave me a lot of
he collapsed on her like
the screaming, and then talking about like, oh, your eyes. And it's like that's glaucoma, baby.
Right. She said he had White Walker eyes. That was crazy.
Yeah.
She's funny. But also too, there's certain kinds of comedy. Like again, like with some of her older ones, I laughed out loud a bit more, and the pacing is similar. But I still, like, her storytelling is so good and it's so honest. You know what I mean? And it's
vulnerable.
relatable. Yeah, it is.
I love the vulnerability,
Yeah.
especially when she was talking about the breakup
Yeah.
with the dude she was in love with. She was talking about how good falling in love feels. And it does. It is an amazing feeling. But like I said, it's fleeting. And like I said, and it is, of course, it's so much kinder to break up with somebody than lead them on.
Yeah, I
but
think
it's
so.
still really, really painful. And when she was talking about that space of pain, I was like, that was really relatable. And it was kind of like, wow, that was really brave, because that is how it feels. But it's like, you don't stay there.
No, you
like
don't.
you eventually come out of it and then apparently find Bill Hader.
Yeah, so they're dating, huh? Bill Hader and her. So that was the guy. So, like, I mean, I guess we're giving it away, but she talks about a gentleman that, like, after the bat signal went out, like, she's like getting all these messages, and somebody sent her a message like, "Oh my gosh, like, I can't believe you're single.
I've always
like,
had a crush on you.
Always thought you was hot, and yeah, like, will you be my girlfriend?" And she was like, "Man, I just spent $250 on this dating app for the whole year, and I just kind of want to get my money."
And I'm Chinese.
Why was I was thinking? But honestly, I was like, that is to me relatable.
Real
It's
talk.
like, I mean, I just got single. Like, this is so
Right.
nice, but also. And maybe you won't be here when I get back, and that'll be my bad. I might
And
just shoot myself in the foot.
it is
But
better to take that breathing room
You need
before
to
you
take
get
the
into
room.
something else.
take the room, ladies, because I think that wouldn't be fair. Because for one, you're already setting yourself up to. You're putting me on a pedestal before you actually even met me. You just think I'm hot and cute, and I'm your dream girl. I'm not a character in like, I'm a real person, and you don't really know
I'm
me.
actually the first character in my story.
Yeah, you don't actually know me. So, but that's cute to know that, like, at the end, it was Bill Hader. He sent her flowers, like, everywhere across her little
And I like him.
thing. He seems like a nice man. He's funny.
Well, I like his work. I should say
His
that.
work, yeah.
Like, because I don't know him, or if we might find something terrible about him tomorrow. But he seems like he's a decent guy.
He's a funny guy.
So, and I've liked a lot of his projects. So I was really happy when I saw that. I was like, oh, okay, well, that's cute.
Good for them. Good for them.
And all that stuff. But I felt a certain way because I'm like, bitch, you ain't single. You out here, you got a employed partner. Like, that's
But she had to take us on the journey.
Exactly.
She had to start from
took
there to
us,
there. Yeah. So I ain't mad at
So
her.
I was kind of like, man, I'm still single at the end of this.
I'm about to say, and I'd like to point out that she's legally still single. If she gets tired of his ass
I'm
between now and tomorrow, she
extra
can
single.
leave. So what? It's not a competition.
It is.
She's still technically single.
Because you know, like,
well,
if
she's
you-
rich, cat. I'm sure it's probably easier. Well, she's got also access to a certain.
Because sometimes that's not easier. She points out a lot of men
get
are
some brownies,
intimidated. Are you gonna smell that?
Oh yeah, that is true.
Like, a lot
Let's
of
talk
men
about
don't
that.
necessarily want smart, intelligent, successful women because then they feel like they're not necessary.
That
which
is so true.
sad.
Nick Cannon even talked about that with Mariah. Nick Cannon.
Oh, he felt inferior.
He did. He had a whole conversation about that and was like, I'm used to being the main character. And it was like, she's such a bright star that everything orbits around her. You know what I mean? And then you're just like orbiting and you're like the help.
Yeah,
and he
you
was
sitting
like,
there holding the kids.
yeah.
Like
Well,
a wife.
or like a supportive partner. Like, I don't know why that has to be shit upon. Like, if you're the one who's actually supporting and I think that was kind of the energy that Allie was kind of saying too, like in the dynamic of their marriage. She thought that because he was this business graduate from Harvard Business School that he would be, she was
Secure.
like, shit, low key, I was trying to build my shit around him because, that was like the safe bet for, financially. And then, come to find out, I actually could do it all along and I don't need him. And now I kind of wish I was free a little bit. But also the pressure that comes along with that of having to, whatever, and to have a supportive partner who doesn't resent you for doing your work, but also doesn't, like, they see the value in what you're doing. But I just think that, like, you're socialized as a woman to automatically be comfortable or supposedly be comfortable playing that part, whereas men don't.
Yeah, they're not socialized that way.
They're supposed to be the bright, shiny stars, and you're supposed to be holding their purse. So they don't like it when it's the other way around.
Yeah.
So whatever, that's true.
The other thing she talked about was dating white men and about how they just always have diarrhea.
Ugh.
And because they could never keep up with the food. Because she's talking about, like, she's like, I eat all the meat off the bone, gristle, cartilage, everything. And I was like, okay, that's somewhat relatable to me because I do judge people who leave meat on the bone.
Well, judge me if you need to.
Well, the people I date.
Oh.
Like,
I was like, you're not a real man if you're not eating all the goddamn Meat off the bones.
I mean, I'm like, oh, you're gonna leave all that?
You're just gonna waste.
I'm like,
we ain't even been together long enough for me to just take your bones and clean them for you.
There's a part of me that wants to like get in there, but it's like, I'm a lady, so I won't do that. But yeah,
absolutely
that
not.
That part had me cackling.
That's hilarious. I get it, but I'm not that girl. I'm not getting ready to clean the bone down like that.
And the King Triton stuff, where she called him Ocean Santa, where it was kind of
like, he's kind of hot.
Here's the thing: who the animators for Little Mermaid, they were horny. Like that movie was, going back and watching it, I was like,
oh, I need to watch it with horny eyes, I guess. It's been a while.
They were
okay.
But
he was fine. That's basically what she was saying. He was fine, right? No?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, you have to send me the notes on that one. It's like, where are the horny parts at?
Yeah.
Okay, so what else? What else we got, friend? What other parts got you?
What other parts got me?
So I can eat this piece of brownie.
Because I had a bunch of thoughts while I was watching this. Not all of them have to do with Allie. Because then, I don't know why. I got the idea just for marketing purpose. Not marketing, but maybe merch purposes. Like getting like pink trucker hats that say "Make Pussy Expensive Again." Ooh. Yeah? You like that?
Yeah, I kind of do.
You like that?
Although I don't like the word pussy though. I mean, it's
it
not
communicates so much.
It does, but it's like I never.
Because vagina doesn't.
But I don't like that one either.
Maybe make sex expensive again?
No, I mean it probably needs to be pussy. I guess it's just like I don't ever.
Too vulgar.
I guess so.
Too
it's
vulgar.
Like, I mean, it's. I don't know. It just.
Make
I just
Yanni expensive again.
When she was like, she was telling that guy, she broke up with him and was like, I don't want to have to ask you to go down on me.
Yeah.
Like, eat my pussy. Like, that's how I feel when I say the word.
Yeah, that part was a little rough for me. I was like, I was like,
she was cracking up. She thought it was hilarious, which is funny. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like that when I'm saying the word. And like, if like I'm supposed to be being serious while I'm saying it, I feel ridiculous.
Well, I mean, it is tongue in cheek, if you'll, pardon the pun there. But like, I think, for the hat anyway.
It would be great for the hat. I think that it's,
okay.
Make pussy expensive again.
Guys, let us know. We'll make some. If you'll buy them, we'll make some.
Yeah.
And like get them embroidered and all that stuff. But yeah.
Okay. I like it.
But do you want to take a break while we think of more stuff?
I have a couple of things.
Let's go.
Yeah. So I was thinking about the aspect of divorce and dating where it's like, okay, you're getting used to a new normal. There's this self-discovery aspect. Like I think, if you've been married, because it sounds like she was married for about
10 years.
10 years.
Because I remember thinking, I was like, I was with my ex for 10 years.
Yeah, that's
so
a nice
I know
decade.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's a lot of personal growth that happens that I don't think that you always recognize is happening because you're so busy, especially if you're a mom and you're married, because a lot of your focus goes in on your husband, your kids.
Oh, sure.
And it feels very secondary. So
it also feels funny too, because the person I am now would never date that person.
Isn't that interesting?
Now. Yeah.
So it just made me think about that. Like just, and I mean, I don't want you to feel like you have to be the expert on this. But when I'm thinking about people sharing that, it's like, yeah, how do you? It just has to be such an awkward transition because I think about, also I've been in a long-term relationship for so long, and then like the comfort zone of it is just like, wow. So now I got to get out here and like get to know somebody, and then not even that, get to know myself before I can really get to know somebody. So like, I don't even know how you begin to do that.
It's so funny because I wouldn't even like, I didn't even do apps because I'm trying to think now, like, what would my app look like, my little bio look like if I even tried to do an app?
God.
Just about kind of like, it'd be
this.
It makes me think of, it probably would. For people to see that was the Vulcan salute, live long and prosper.
It's like, you need to know I'm a nerd.
It makes me think of Amber and Lacey Ruff, from the Amber and Lacey and Amber show, when a part of the segment of their podcast is when they slide into Lacey's DMs and have to deal with because to me, that's why I don't do online dating. Like, it's just really, really, really crazy out here. And also, this is so random, but I think about how like kids are on this app too. So a lot of times kids end up seeing like their teachers and like their friends' parents' profiles.
Oh God.
Yeah, that happens.
How terrifying.
Yeah, wouldn't that be awful?
Absolutely humiliating.
Yeah,
in every sense.
I never ever want to be in that predicament. And also, I just don't. Everybody's different. Like a lot of times people are like, yeah, I want this relationship to fulfill, even like that Later Dater show I was telling you about.
Yeah.
You know, people like to get into that. I'm kind of like, if it happens, it happens. I don't need to actually like cast a real, like if a fish jumps in my boat, okay. But I'm not actually about to cast a net or put a rod out there.
It seems it's tiring.
It is, because you have to keep casting. It's like,
my
throw it
arm's
back,
tired.
and cast it and throw it back. It's work. There's a reason why like matchmakers are a job. Like why a lot of successful people outsource.
Yeah, because it's frightening. And so, like, do you think that because she was she said she was doing the online dating. So she paid for an exclusive one.
Raya.
You think it was Raya?
Well, to me, that's the one you have to be on a wait list for and pay for.
Okay.
She's talking about the dude or whatever.
Which makes sense. Like, I mean, I think it's, for sure. But the app dating thing would be so weird. And I've, had single friends that I've had a chance to look at like their profile and some of the people. And I'm like, it feels, that feels like a job. Like I'm already overwhelmed by social media in general. And, like I participate in it in terms of the podcast, but like when I didn't have a podcast, I was not like on social media like that. Because for what am I promoting? So then now it feels like I have to have this app to promote myself because I'm trying to date. So do you think it's impossible now to have analog like dating experiences in terms of like meeting people places?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I've done that.
Yeah. Is it weird now? Like I feel like for our generation, it got really weird really quickly, say like with texting. So like if you were to call somebody directly, it would just be like, why are they calling me? This is so aggressive. Like, is that now kind of the feeling if you're out?
I haven't dated in so long.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like to go out with the intention of dating. Like you said, that seems odd as opposed to being like, you know what, I'm going out with my friends. Like if somebody approaches me while I'm out, like that's one thing. But like to go out with the intention of like, I'm getting dolled up to see who I can, like connect with this evening.
I can't really relate to that.
Yeah.
Like that's not once again, like I said, if they jump in the boat, okay, fine.
That's one thing.
But I'm not.
Okay.
Like it really does have, especially because it really is a respect for relationships. Like they take time and energy, and I don't have an abundance of that. Like, I
can see that.
Yeah. I feel like something would have to give. So it's like already, it just doesn't rank super high in the priority of things in my life that I'm trying to accomplish right now.
Mm-hmm. That kind of goes back to the, being a mom, a divorced mom, a mom who's divorced, who may have children. It's like, your priorities are not going to be dating. So I thought it was interesting to go off on a tangent and talk a little bit about what that looks like. And so like in terms of things that like, say there's a guy who wants to date a person who has, like they're divorced, they have kids. I had pulled up this article because I was just like, I wanted to get some more insight from other people. I didn't want you to feel like you had to be some sort of expert on this because you're divorced.
I'm not. If
we're not experts at all. Period.
For anything except how to be happy being single.
And the thing is that like because I'm having this conversation with you, I didn't want you to feel like it was pointed to you. So I just wanted to. So I was like, let me get some other perspectives on like what kind of advice people get, like if they're asking like what are some things you should keep in mind like if you're dating. So I found this article, Tips for Dating a Single Mom, and I wanted to, and I am going to ask you to weigh in on if you think these are things that make sense. So this is an article from Very Well Mind.
That's nice. It may be a little more complicated, but she's worth it.
Look at that. So cute. Very Well Mind. So it says that if you're in the dating game, single moms will likely be in the mix. In fact, according to Pew Research Center study, the U.S. has had the world's highest rate of children living in single-parent households, specifically those run by single moms. Single parents bring a unique perspective, priorities, and life experiences to the table, and that can make them great partners. They're often capable, smart, flexible, and know what they're looking for in a relationship. Here's what to do when dating a single mom and how to take that relationship to the next level without getting involved too soon. Now, that was the part that I kind of thought about too, because it's like, especially if you meet somebody who's unmarried and doesn't have kids, right? Like, I think that can be tough because, like, if they're in a space where they want these things, they're definitely going to be like, well, I want to spend time. I want to do this. Things are trying to move too fast. So, let's go down the list of the things that they say. So, it says recognize that it's different. When dating a single mom, it's important that you adjust your expectations. In other relationships, you may have been able to gauge your person's feelings for you by how much time and energy they put into a relationship. When you're dating a single parent, it isn't necessarily the case. They may not have the time to see you as often as you'd both like. Single parents' time is limited and much of their energy goes toward taking care of their kids. How accurate do you feel like this is in being like a... Or is that something you come up against?
Because I've dated when I was single, when I didn't have kids, and I've dated, but God, that was in the 1900s.
My God, you're old.
And then dating with kids. Yeah, it's different. Like, I don't really...
I mean, I feel like that's solid advice. I guess that's what I'm asking. Do you feel like this is solid advice or no? I think that you definitely need to recognize it's different and understand.
Specifically, I wish it wasn't just focusing on single moms, like just a single parent. Like, because this would be true for a single dad too.
Well, and it's saying mom, but this definitely goes, because I mean, I'm sure we have listeners who may be men who have kids. I mean, this is interchangeable, so we're not going to put a gender on it.
I feel like a lot of times when there's this tension when people are talking about dating someone who has kids, and a lot of times why they don't want to is because you're not going to be the focus. And a lot of times it does have a lot to do with how they're raising their child, because if they're raising the child in sort of a way that you don't agree with, then that's going to be like really weird. I don't really believe in bringing anybody that I'm not considering marrying around my kids. So, a lot of times I'm like super duper guarded. So it's not going to be like a, yeah, you can come over kind of situation. That's not going to happen. So, that's very different. Yeah.
Yes.
But actually, I would give the advice too to women who don't have children to not let men come to your house.
Yeah. It's not safe. It ain't safe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I would say this is interchangeable, but I think that could be hard if you've got somebody who's really going hard to push to see. It's like, that's why Allie was saying, like, you need another single dad. You need somebody who understands that this isn't personal, but like my first priority and responsibility is going to be my kids and stuff like that.
And I go to bed at like 10. So it's not going to be like I'm up all night texting you and like doing that, like caking and all that stuff. Like I don't have that in me at all. Like, you can get some flirty little text during the day, but like
after 9:30, it's over for you, sir.
Yeah,
That's
no,
funny.
10. I'll give it up to 10.
Okay. Well, I have to wash my face and stuff, so.
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
But so this kind of goes along to what we're saying. It says take it slow in dating single parents. Be honest and upfront. Are you looking to hook up? Or are you interested in a long-term partnership? I think this is important. I think too, maybe when you're single and you're parenting at the same time, you're more intentional and you know what you want.
And that's always good advice, no matter what your dating situation is, to be honest and upfront with what your goals are.
Amen to that.
Be trustworthy. Once again, that's just good for every single bingle type of relationship. And stay flexible. Yeah. Like, just been like, ooh, like it just so happened, like when I come up on free time, it's always a surprise.
Yeah, it happened today.
Yeah.
We weren't supposed to be doing this right now.
Right.
And I was like, oh, okay.
And fortunately you're flexible.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna be here all day. I ain't doing nothing today.
So you definitely, that's good advice. Really, the best advice is just find somebody who doesn't have kids. If you don't have kids. If you don't have kids, that means there's somebody else out here who doesn't have kids. So that would be my real advice. But of course, that isn't always realistic. But you definitely want to have the same type of values, because I don't want somebody coming in and be like, well, you need to be doing this and doing this. I was like, I've been doing this before you came
No,
around.
thank you.
Like, I'm not super interested. You would be gone tomorrow.
That part, which is the nice thing about being a single person.
Yeah.
You don't have to, like, you get to make your own rules. And I do think, like, I wish that more single people would relish in their singleness, because it's like, it's such a unique experience where you just get to invest in you 100%. But I also recognize, like, when you're partnered, like, there's good parts about both, right? And I think we tend to romanticize the things that we don't have when we don't have
Not
them.
just us. I feel like we're socialized too. Because there's nothing wrong with being coupled. That's great. It just would be great. The same way there's that stigma around divorce, because there's this stigma around being single.
Or a single mom.
Yeah.
Or a single dad.
Like you're somehow a
something's
failure.
wrong.
It's like, no. Like, I just, not this idea of like we are all supposed to be paired off. That paradigm doesn't work for everybody. And then sometimes it is nice to, I'm good with myself. And then if you find, like I said, if I just happen to be out and somebody's like, oh, like, oh, that's nice. It's like, yeah, this is cool. And at the same time, having a clear out, like I said, like, I don't know how old dude broke up with Allie, because like there's no like super nice way to do it, but having a clean, like having good hygiene around breakups is something we should also have too, because I feel like I would be more willing to date more if there were easier ways to get out of it.
Oof. Yeah. And well, that what that makes me think of, like,
I thought it might have sounded shitty.
No, because for real though, it's real because stuff can get crazy, right? Like, we talk about abusive relationships. It makes me think about, I think I had that in my notes, about hold up, what is it called? The no-fault divorce. This made me think a lot about that and how I respect and I know every situation is not going to be amicable, and it is nice that they're friends. And I'm sure that like it took 2 years to finalize the divorce, so they had assets and all that. But some people are stuck, and to think that like states are trying to go back to legislating no fault, like taking that option off the table, I think giving people these clean and easy ways to look at each other and say, you know what, this is no longer working for either of us. Doesn't mean that, you're a piece of shit in every sense of the word. This is just not working.
Yeah, we need to depart with love.
Yeah, like, let's just get out of here. And why make that harder, especially if you are and happen to be coupled up with a piece of shit. And now, you're stuck and you have to prove it, and they make it harder.
A nicer way to say it, we didn't grow together.
No, piece of shit though, because like sometimes it's just that.
It is what it
There's
is.
levels, yeah. There's sometimes it's like, oh, you're a piece of shit. Sometimes it's like, you're the same person I married, but I have evolved.
Yeah.
And this is no longer where I'd like to be. So I just think keeping it safe, easy, and open, like, to me, that would be the equivalent of rolling back like Roe versus Wade, like they have, but just for marriages. And it just makes it messier and harder, and there's just more danger and more death involved that doesn't need to be.
Because
So
it's like, oh, the only way I get out of this is if he dies. Okay.
it just starts feeling like, well, I'm tired. I don't want to be here. Not advocating for
Earl
that.
has to die.
And you just hate for it to take turns. And most of the time it's not that. It's the other way around.
Yeah, that's true.
So, we hate to see that. So I think it's good to sort of focus in on, like you're saying, the healthy breakup tactics, and then also leaving space to make it easy to get out of marriages that aren't working, because staying in a marriage that doesn't work is not.
And staying in that space of, what's that? Consent.
Yes,
You know what I mean? Because that doesn't go out the window when you get married.
No,
this
it
idea
doesn't.
that,
Your body, my choice. That's the ethos of life right now. So I didn't love that. Let's see what else is here. Lessons in growth. That's it. I think I was going to ask do's and don'ts of dating. We kind of talked about it. None of this stuff is specific to just single parents. I think it's just across the board, some of the stuff that you should be looking out for. I think Allie nailed it. I thought it was wildly entertaining. And even though I didn't crack up, like, you watch some comedy specials and you're just like, okay, I can't even catch my breath. It wasn't like that, but I think the storytelling was compelling. I think the authenticity and vulnerability that was in there. And there were some genuinely funny stuff that made me, she was just cute. It was overall like really, really great. And so I think
I love that set.
It was, I liked it. So, if I had to rate this.
Wait, we read after the break.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. so we're back. Back from the break, you guys. All right, Kat, why don't you rate it? You go first.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 baby cobras.
Ooh.
Because I thought it was really solid. My only thing was like it was to me less comedy special and more one woman show.
Okay.
You know, is like how I would kind of describe it, but it was thoroughly entertaining.
Yes, I agree. It was very good.
I found Beef way more entertaining.
Okay, maybe
Like
we should review Beef.
Yeah, Beef was to me one of the best action series of like, I guess last
Whatever
year,
year
whenever
that
it
came out.
of 2023. Like I thought it was excellent. Like, cause to me it was like a bunch of like little mini movies. And stuff like that, but this was still very good. What's your rating?
I'm giving it 3.5 of those really cute glasses she had on. Those cat eye glasses.
Okay.
So cute. And it's the same reason. I think because maybe too, like I said, I watched some of her other ones too. I almost gave her a 4 based on the fact that I loved all her other ones, but I had to really think about this one. And like you said, there was just something about it that didn't have me like rolling. Like you say, pound for pound, just like joke, like if that's the measure. But I liked it. I thought it was well produced, well written, well performed. So kudos to you, Ali Wong. Definitely
Looking forward to
entertained.
seeing more of her projects. She's one of those people where it's like, oh, she's on it, I'll go watch that.
Listen, I didn't realize what a huge voice actress she was. Like she has so many credits and stuff. And then I found there was an animated show that she's on, Gentry Child versus the Underworld. Did you see this? I was like, this looks like something you would like.
That does sound like something I would like.
Look at hold on, I'm about to click
cute.
it. So she's the main character.
Does she have a deal with Netflix?
This is on Netflix.
Yeah.
But it's another I forget the lady's name, dang it. But it's another Asian woman who I think wrote this that she's working with and stuff and produced. It looks cute. So anyway, it's an animated thing. So so good for you, Allie.
Edna Wu?
Echo. Echo. Yes. So looking forward to other stuff that she has coming out. I think this came out in December.
Fabulous.
Last year. So
I'm
something
always
might check
looking for
out.
a good project.
Yeah. And we need this stuff now more
before we all
than
dip out. We
ever.
We do. Say that. Say it all the way out.
That's okay. They heard
we
it.
need it now more than ever, guys. Yeah, we need to listen to women. Speaking of listening to women, Wicked. You finally watched it.
I did watch it. It was good. I liked it.
Man, I thought it was fabulous.
Yeah.
I ended up I'm full on obsessed with it. I get it now because it's one of those things people are always like, oh, Wicked. And I'm like, all right, I guess. And I'm like, okay, I see why people dig this. This is a very important messaging.
The messaging was great. The acting was really, really good. Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande nailed it. Like they did a really wonderful job.
And Michelle Yeoh. She was Madame Marvel. And the costumes.
Yeah, it was good.
It was just hitting. It was just a delight for all senses. So pretty much every morning when I'm getting ready, I listen to Defying Gravity.
You guys are gonna have to hear about Wicked every week, at least till June, because this is what my friend needs to get her life together, and I'm here for it. Listen,
especially that. Oof, I hope you're happy, man. There's just
I gotta
so
see it
much
again
in
too.
that.
I think because I just saw it the once and it was good. I liked it. Yeah, it was good. The music, it was good times, man. So,
and actually, there's a really good line in there that reminds me about being single. Because, like, at least if I'm flying solo, at least I'm flying free.
Damn, that was a good one too. And she pieced out on that broom. I said, let's go. I know that's right. Exactly. And I think that, yes, I'd rather just be free
kiss me
and
goodbye.
not miserable.
I'm defying gravity.
Yeah. Very, very powerful. Very, very
and
good.
I love how like a lot of the MAGA people hate it because the messaging behind it is like, oh, you got this slick ass man to make you afraid of this woman who's trying to tell you the truth and who can actually read the grimory.
Wow, what an allegory for these times, man. This is why art is important, you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking about Harry Potter before and how we're basically,
we're fighting the Death Eaters.
Yeah,
again.
man. Yeah.
Nobody wanted to hear about it. It's
And Elon's like Wormtail.
I don't want to hear about the Death Eaters are still out there. It's like, well, they are though. Like, I'm not telling this to upset you. I'm telling you because it is upsetting.
I'm about to say, and I don't care if you're upset. Actually.
You should be upset.
Yeah, period.
I'm
You should
upset.
be
That's
upset.
why I'm bringing it up.
Right.
Like, the only thing worse is letting them surprise you.
Well, I think a lot of people are taking that route, and we'll see how that goes.
It's just like, what? I thought he was a nice guy. How?
Yeah,
How?
how?
Why? Why? Like and nothing else, just saying how he treats the people closest to him. Like, to me, that is like, you do. Because what did I say earlier? When I'm judging people, like, are you handling your business and are you taking care of your family? No and no.
He thinks he is, I'm sure.
I don't see how.
It's ghetto here, guys. So get you some art in your life. That's what I have to say.
Oh, here's the other thing too, because here's what their plan is. I figured out their plan. They're doing this whole Doge stuff or whatever. They're trying to create a digital apartheid because that's what Elon's there for. He misses They miss it so much. Apartheid and slavery, so good for capitalism. Like the socialism stuff that really eats into the capitalism
Eats
of it
into
all.
the budget.
So it's like, ooh, even though you'd still be super rich, because do you think,
Not rich
how
enough.
do you think, how could you ever survive on $500 million? Like,
I just don't know.
mean, is he even going to be able to have multiple boats?
He's
like-
still going to be ugly and swagless no matter how many billions. That's the part. You can't buy that, Elon. I'm sorry. Not sorry. And that's what you're really that's the
Ooh,
thing.
to be
It's
ugly
like,
and swagless. Because
Yeah.
you could still have, like, what
you could have heart, bitch.
Right.
You could have heart. That
Yeah.
endears an ugly person to you. It's like, you know what?
Oh,
you don't have to do.
Do you remember Happy Bunny? Do you? Type in Happy Bunny.
Happy Bunny.
Yeah.
If I see it, and then will I be like, oh my God.
Maybe.
yes.
I don't know. I don't know what you remember. It's always a surprise.
I don't know what I remember. Oh. He kind of, not really though. Where he from? I remember those books. This makes me think about the books.
Yes,
With
I used to have little books with little sayings that Happy Bunny would say. So Happy Bunny is this cute. Maybe I'll throw it up here. Maybe I won't. But it was this really cute, sweet little bunny that would say really mean things.
oh.
And so, like, one of the first things I think I ever saw Happy Bunny in was just like, it's like, you're gross, so shouldn't you be nice?
Cute but crazy. Things even out. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Or it's like, it's not my job to blow sunshine up your ass. Like, it was always little stuff
Oh, I
like
love
that,
the
but with a little
contrast.
happy face. Can you see why? It's the
I can
mix
see
of
why
the
you love
sour
that.
and the sweet.
I love it.
So
the
yeah,
contrast.
and you know what's so funny? Because when I bought one of those little books, the guy who wrote it, he dedicated it to Mary Catherine.
Oh, it was to you.
Yeah, I mean, no, but
it was to you.
But to
It was
me,
to
I was
you.
just like, yup, that's for me, y'all.
I'm sure she's great. And I receive it.
But yeah, but that idea of, even if you're not conventionally cool or attractive, you could still be
Rich and take over the world.
Here's the
Ooh-ha-ha.
thing. This is what I was discussing with my mother earlier, just about how. I was telling her about a podcast with Josh Johnson I listened to, where he was talking about Elon Musk and about how he knows now that it's the right path to not chase wealth, because you're still going to be stuck with all the shit that made you unhappy with in high school unless you just fix yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's saying that he really thinks that a lot of mega rich people get unhinged because they ran out of dreams in a way. And so but my whole thing is like, I don't think I could ever run out of dreams, because a lot of my dreams are service based. Like, if there's still people out there that need help, there's something I can do. Like, so this idea that I have this massive amount of resources and I'm out of ideas of what to do with it, when there's so many things that need done around here. It's just like when people complain about being bored. It's like, I haven't been bored since the 80s. Like, we're in a, sorry, because I'm calm and composed now.
Oh, yeah. I forgot
We're
about
in
that.
a universe. Like, we're surrounded by a universe. If you can't find enough to do in the universe, but really just Earth, like even these dudes trying to go to space
I'm about
and
to
stuff.
say, oh my God.
Just here on Earth, there's so much that needs doing. So for everyone, because to me it's just bizarre how like you get these rich people who are suicidally depressed, having access to everything in the world. It's like
it's empty. Well, also too, I think what I'm hearing you say, I mean, the whole thing I'm thinking when you're saying this is like, well, because they're centering themselves the whole time. You are thinking about your dreams in relation to you. I think sometimes it requires you stepping outside of yourself. And I think that's what we end up being socialized to do, because people who don't have resources, it forces you to shift your focus, not on the fact that you don't always have resources, you can't do this and that. You always recognize there's somebody who's worse, or you are forced to really think about the things that either you possessed, or the things that are in your community that mean something to you, that are outside of yourself that you can pull from. Which is why I get why people get into religion, because for some people it's that, but for some people it's community based. Like it's me making sure that I can barely pay my bills, but I'm gonna make a concerted effort to be part of this community program that I believe in, because no matter how bad I have it, these kids don't have a lunch. So I'm going to be part of this program. It takes you outside of yourself. So, I mean, that would be my advice to those folks is like, stop basing your dreams just around, or maybe you wouldn't run out if it wasn't solely focused in on you.
Yeah.
And you trying to, like you said, correct these broken, I don't know, high school dreams that you, again, like you're going to be who you are. Come to terms with you are who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you
might just be a dork.
You can't dance.
But
You're ugly. Like I don't know.
Adorkable.
Thank you. There's other things. Lean into it. You know what I'm saying? Because when you see,
because you're valuable. That's the whole thing. If you're gonna take anything from Moni and Kat right now, we want you on our side. Like I'm not a big fan of like the cancel stuff. I think everyone's redeemable. I really do.
Most people, I would say, are.
Okay.
There might be a few ain't. I don't know.
Maybe.
I'm not saying we don't leave space for it.
Most people are
redeemable. Yeah.
Yes, you're right. Because there's always somebody outside
It's
the standard deviation.
Yep, can't do it. There's no resuscitation for you. There's no coming back.
If you learn anything from this episode, don't piss off Moni, and it's time to go.
And Ali Wong's special was really great. You guys should check it out if you haven't. And we should spin the wheel.
Oh yeah, do that.
Spin it. Dun, 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 dun. I forgot what we were looking at.
It's just one of them days that
That's
a girl goes through when I'm angry inside. So that'll help you remember my beautiful singing.
Yes. Oh my gosh. How could I have forgotten it that soon?
We are going to be watching Keke Palmer and SZA in one of them days.
Ooh, that's going to be fun.
Yes. Once again, we're going to have some fun. We're ending off this cold January with some fun.
Yay.
By
Well,
the
I'm
ton.
excited.
And then that'll take us into Black History Month.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So
very
two
nice.
very talented young Black ladies and a mostly Black cast doing Black things in California. It's Girl Friday.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
It should be fun. So you guys, do the things you love. Okay. Connect. And we'll see you back here next week. Anything for you, friends?
Your body belongs to you. And let me just one more quick pass over my notes. Oh, I didn't get a chance to dedicate this to the police officers who testified about all those pardons DT did for the January 6th stuff. But for everybody who's like, back the Blue Lives Matter, I know y'all aren't about nothing. Unless you're speaking out about your president doing this, because it's truly like
disgusting.
Yeah, super gross. So, and he pardoned the Silk Road dude.
Saw that.
So that's sex trafficking, drugs, like all the bad things.
Kat, we were supposed to be ending on a positive note, friend.
Were we?
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, it was positive because you were saying that they testified against him, so that was the good part.
Yes, their voices are being heard. They're going to go down in history. Everybody, listen, this is all going down in history. So depending what side you want to push your legacy, and your body belongs to you, so use it to do something good.
Yes. No diabolical plans, guys, to take over the world, okay? We need each other. Peace.
Before we go, we must give thanks to Urban Nerd for providing our music, and legal services were handled by Trezanae M. Atkins. If you like what you heard, please feel free to join us every Wednesday for another fake-ass book club. Cheers.
Thank you guys for listening. You can check us out at thefabpodcast.com. Please subscribe, rate, and review our podcast wherever you're listening right now. We want to hear from you. Come put it in our life. Thanks again, and until next time, peace, love, and the Fake Ass Book Club. We out.